So this next step of advanced movement techniques is called anchoring. Anchoring is incredibly powerful and can be used to create a bigger stage for your audience. The two examples that we'll use for this video are creating physical places and emotional places on the stage. The first example being the physical locations, easy to do, and all it is essentially is having maybe your house, your school, and your work. These are all things that are in my narrative, and I'll take you through them as I demonstrate this example. So I was at home one day, just eating my breakfast, waiting to go to drop my daughter off at school. We were running a little bit late, so we had to be quite quick. I looked at my watch and realised we needed to get a hurry on. We eventually took in the car and got to school, made it here, dropped my daughter off, and then it was my turn to start my day and head off to work. So I jumped in my car and went on to go to my job into the office, got there pretty much on time, even though I was worried initially. Back at home I was quite worried, but now I'm here on time and feeling fine. Very, very simple, this example. I'm just literally walking through different locations. The benefit of using anchoring is I can refer back to my house over here and you know where it is. And I could go, oh, I don't really want to go to work, but you know the work's over here now, so I'm creating a bigger stage for the audience. A tip for you going through these, try to use transitional language when moving from one place to another. It'll make it feel much more congruent. For example, we were going and I'm taking a step. We were moving forward and I'm moving forward. And I was moving backwards to get somewhere and I'm actually moving backwards. These small touches of language that are extremely congruent are very powerful for your audience, and it makes it seem much more effective when you actually do the movement as well. The second example is creating emotional space on the stage. This is very important because if I'm telling a personal, vulnerable story, and I'm in this one location, and not a lot of speakers are able to move very much, so I'm really vulnerable, maybe very nervous and anxious, and I've gone through a lot of negativity and difficulty, and then maybe it's gotten better, but I stay in the same place. It might feel strange for the audience, and it might be hard for me as a speaker to step out of that negativity or those negative emotions. For example, in my life, I used to struggle a lot with depression. I was a bit of a loner, and it was difficult. And I found that the more time I spent on my own, the more difficult that things became. And I really wasn't sure what to do or how to get help. Now luckily I found personal development at this point, and it's a really great place for me to try and get out of that situation and start working on myself and feeling much better. Now notice a difference when I add movement into this example. I was, really struggling in life, and I wasn't really sure what to do or who I was. The more time I spent alone, the more difficult things became. And I really started to struggle with myself and what to do. Now luckily I found personal development at this point, and it really gave me a good movement and started to take things in a different way, ask better questions of myself, move into a better direction, and leave that negativity behind and become more positive in life in general. So notice that little pause while I walk through allows me to disassociate from the negativity and leave it over there. And it's clearer for your audience that you've made that transition. And my voice was more animated in that second example when I transitioned. It's easier to do, more congruent for your audience. And then you can refer back to having maybe a dark place on the stage of negativity, and you can find yourself slipping back into that place and struggling, or always stay in this place and moving towards positivity. And it can become a real battle, but it's a real nice use of the stage and create emotional energy with you.